Hey folks, it's Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. Welcome to the farm vlog today. I think I got a hole in my glove. Thanks for coming to Stoney Ridge Farm today. I want to talk to you a little bit today about compost. I got something very special right here in this bag, and we'll tell you about it when we come back. We're also going to go up and check, see if we have any new baby goats. I'll give you a little bit of goat footage and just tell you what's really going on here on the farm. It's freezing cold, and I had 2 crowns done yesterday on my teeth. Ugh, my mouth has been totally sore. I've been kind of just laid up, trying not to do a whole lot, but it's driving me crazy to sit still in the house. So let's go out together and go have some fun. All right, come on with me. Stoney Ridge Farm, Stoney Ridge, Stoney Ridge Farm. So something you may or may not know is that your local coffee shops have black gold in a silver package. This is from Starbucks, okay? And it's called Grounds for Your Garden. So Starbucks has a program where you can go in and get the old spent coffee grounds and use them on your compost pile or use them in your garden. Helps your tomatoes to pop. Just something you might not know, but most of your coffee shops will give you their old grounds, and Starbucks is definitely a promoter of it. They even have their own special bag, and if you walk right in the door in a lot of Starbucks and you look down on the ground, right there will be several bags of this wonderful black gold. And you can get it at Starbucks or most any of your coffee shops. Also, a lot of microbreweries around, guys. Lots of microbreweries. You can go get the spent grains from these microbreweries. If you have a large operation like a cattle operation or a pork operation or even just a small farm, you can set up with these guys where you can come and get their old spent grains from local breweries. You know, these microbreweries are popping up everywhere, and a lot of them are just having to throw this stuff in the dumpster. It's good. It's good for your garden. It's good for your farm animals. It's fermented, probiotic. It's awesome. And so is this. Let's go check the goats. Folks, the reason I'm telling you about this kind of stuff is because I don't like to see waste. I don't know how you are, but I just can't stand to see stuff go to waste that could easily be used in someone's garden. So it really bothers me when stuff goes to waste. We don't let anything go to waste here on the Stoney Ridge Farm. If we don't eat it, we feed it to the dogs, we compost it, or when we have pigs, we'll feed it to the pigs. Nothing goes to waste. That's just the way we choose to live. I'll tell you what's going to be in a future vlog. Look back here. Look at that mess. Good gracious. So right in here is where the forestry guys came in, and all they did was thin. They thinned this little area out, and I got a lot of brush to clean up. So we'll be cleaning up brushes and having bonfires all summer long. Folks, if you saw that vlog where I showed you the squirrel trail, look at that. Isn't that amazing? That's a trail where the squirrels have been running. I'll post a link to that vlog right up here. The squirrels have been running from the woods right down this trail into that tree. Isn't that crazy? Maybe we'll just call this an educational vlog, but another thing you might not know, when you drive by farms out in the country and you see it all turned up, all plowed up in the wintertime, the reason they're doing that is so when it rains on it, it soaks into those big dirt clods and it breaks them up. So if you look out here, the ground is much more smooth after it's frozen a few times. So the ground freezes out here and breaks up and turns from big clumps into little powder and smooths itself out. Pretty neat. Let's run up here and check on the goats. I just tripped on a rock. Goats are screaming at me. Check them out. Hey, goaties! Who's had a baby? Where are you gonna go when you win the Super Bowl? This mama goat right here is due to have babies anytime right now. Nobody's getting any food till I say so. FYI, goats love to climb on stuff. And these little babies, look at them. They're just dying to climb up on something. See that barrel? I'm gonna flip it over. Watch. They just love to jump and climb. Let's flip your little fun barrel over. Each and every day when I feed the goats, there's always a murder attempt. These goats do not like each other when it comes to food time. You'd think they were starving to death, but you can really tell the hierarchy of goats. Who runs the show around here? Oop, oop, there's old Billy. So the second thing we gotta handle every day when it's cold like this is putting some water in that water container right there, okay? We gotta go get the gator, bring some water up here, put it in that container, and go water the chickens. So folks, while we're back here behind the shop at the hose bib, I posted a video on how to install a wood burning stove in your steel building. I'll post a link to it somewhere up here, but the pipe and the seal has all held up very, very well. Got a nice fire going in there right now. Really, really happy with it, okay? So if you want to learn how to put a wood stove in your steel building, I've got a video out there. Very informative, takes you step by step, tells you all the parts you need and everything. I'll post it up here somewhere. Stoney Ridge farmer Josh, why didn't you fill the buckets all the way full? Because they'll splash out all over the back of the gator, make a big wet mess, and we don't want a big wet icy mess in the back of the gator. Let's go water the chickens. Right now the chickens are doing the miso thirsty dance. Dude, give us some water. Hey dudes, don't walk in your water bowl. So lots of folks have asked me, what do you do to keep your chickens warm in the wintertime? And I asked them, what do down comforters do to keep warm in the wintertime? Because that's what they're full of, is feathers, right? He's pretty much wrapped in a down comforter. Chickens do fine in the wintertime, guys. These chickens will huddle up together at night just like the goats, and they grow a winter coat just like the goats. So just FYI, chickens aren't people, and dogs aren't people, and goats aren't people, and cows aren't people, and ducks aren't people. Folks, that's what this farm vlog's all about. Educating yourself. Good gracious. How many people just have absolutely no understanding of livestock and farming and where their food comes from and how it's made and how it's all done and the work that goes behind it? So I go into work and I tell people, well, yeah, I posted a video the other day about how to process chickens and how to take them from the field to the fork. And they are disgusted. Oh, I don't want to know. Ooh, no, I'll eat chicken, but I don't want to know. Something is inherently wrong with that. It really is. Let's talk about honeybees. Right there they are. Honeybees. 16 degrees. What are the honeybees doing? Let's talk a little bit about it. I hate this glove. Look at this glove. I cut the finger out of this glove so I could use it for hunting, and now my finger is freezing. I don't like that glove. So a question I get asked a whole lot of times is, what are your bees doing in the wintertime? What do they do? Okay, are they alive? Did they die every year? Do they come back? What is it that your honeybees are doing? Well, let's talk a little bit about that. What do honeybees do in the wintertime? So right now inside each one of these hives, there are 4 hives right here, all the honeybees are huddled up into a tight ball. We've had temperatures as low as 9 degrees up here, and the honeybees basically sit there and vibrate together, okay? They vibrate, and that vibration produces heat. So if we had a little laser and we could point it to these hives right here, we would probably see that the temperature on the outside of the hive is fairly low. But if we could shoot up into the bottom, we'd find out that the temperature is probably in the 80s or 90s in there. Now, I am no absolute honeybee expert. Folks, if you know anything about honeybees and you want to post something down there in the comments, go ahead and post something in the comments. But it's my understanding, and I've had honeybees for 7 years now, it's my understanding that the bees, you got to keep them well fed, which is their honey. Their protein source is the pollen. Okay, so they take nectar from flowers, they dry the nectar and make honey, and that's their carbohydrate source. And they take the pollen that comes collecting on the backs of their back legs, and that's their protein source. So the reason you don't rob the honeybees of all their honey is so that they can survive through the winter. Now, I didn't rob the bees hardly at all this year. I think I only took 2 boxes of honey out, and everybody around is hitting me up for honey, but I just don't have it. I'd rather my hives do well and my orchard, which is right here, do well, okay? So this next season, my orchard will do very well because my honeybees are positioned right here, and the garden's right here. It's all planned. Now, hopefully you know a little bit about what honeybees do in the wintertime. Now, this is just going to be a little walk and talk, guys. This is really nice to be able to walk and talk with you a little bit. What I've got down here are my fruit trees, okay? So this is a row of apple trees, and this is a row of pear trees right here. Now, let me show you something about the pear trees that you may not know. We've got to prune these trees back a little bit this winter to keep the growth from crisscrossing all over each other and to keep the limbs down from breaking off. Let's look at the trees real quick. We'll kind of get into this a little bit, and maybe in a future vlog we'll dedicate a vlog to just trimming trees. So let's look at this tree together. What you see and what I see may be 2 different things here, and what a true professional orchard owner might see may be totally different than what I see or any of us see. So let's take a look at a couple trees right here. This tree right here, if you see down here, these limbs are undesirable. They're growing out, they're kind of crisscrossing over top of each other, and what we want to do is establish 2 or 3 major branches. And right here, we would probably choose this one, and this one as our major branches, and we get rid of this, this, and this. Let's go to another tree. Now here we have an example of what we don't want also. See this limb? It's about to cross over this limb. We again want 2 or 3 major branches on our trees, and you can see here the deer have gotten to that one. So we'll cut this guy off, we'll cut this guy off, and we also have an issue here. So see how these 2 limbs are touching, crisscrossing over one another? We got to get rid of one of those, okay? The most likely candidate to get rid of is going to be this guy right here. So we want to take the tree back to have 3 major branches. Now here we have a tree that we planted this year. We planted it about a month ago, okay? Let me show you something that you might not know. 3 things that you may not know about these new trees. First thing you may not know, this is a piece of rebar. This piece of rebar is to keep the deer from scraping the tree up. The deer will hit that rebar and they won't scrape the tree. When they get their horns in there on this rebar, they won't scrape the tree up with their horns. Now, we got a limb right here. See how it grows straight out? This has to go because if it ever gets any weight out here, it's just gonna bend and snap. So this one needs to go. You want your limbs to grow out and up like this, okay? And this limb needs to go too. And the third thing is, you see that piece of pipe right there? That piece of pipe needs to go around the tree so that rabbits don't eat the bark off your tree. And it also helps to deter deer. You gotta have it. I didn't put it on the trees before. We had some rabbits come in here and decimate our trees. We lost like 15 of them. Folks, there's a lot more science to this than I can explain, but we'll come out here in the orchard sometime in a future vlog and we'll show you exactly how we're gonna trim our trees up. We're just gonna get in here and we wanna thin them out. Probably don't wanna do this every year as the trees are growing up. You wanna let them get good and established and then start going in and thinning the limbs out. Let me show you a nicely established tree that's just in need of trimming. So look right here. See all those limbs? We got to take about 3/4 of those limbs off. And basically the reason we're doing that is to establish the tree's health, okay? To get a good root set so that this tree will produce for years to come. Limbs like this guy need to go. See how this one's sticking straight out and kind of hanging down? It needs to go. The fact is you got to get in, you got to thin your fruit trees for future production, okay? We're not going to be selling apples, at least I don't think we will. Now if we plant about 100 more fruit trees, we might end up selling apples and pears and all that stuff. But for now, we've got to just help our orchard to get established. Very well established orchard. That way our kids will be able to pick apples when they're walking through the yard. That'll be awesome. All right, let's ride up here and take care of our goats. As you can tell, guys, the goats are really thirsty. Now the baby goats won't need any water for several weeks. They drink their mama's milk, but these cold, dry days really make animals thirsty. They were in need. We might have to give them 2 buckets of water. Oh, check this out. I told you the baby goats like to play king of the mountain. They love to jump and run and climb all over stuff. So maybe we'll find a play set or something like that and put it in here for them to play with. Folks, I hope you've enjoyed this little journey around the farm with me today. It's a vlog, it's a farm vlog. There's not a lot going on right now, But come on back and see me probably tomorrow or the next day. We've got some new solar lights that we're going to put up on the back side of the house. It's just really, really dark here in the wintertime, and we need to know when something's coming around the house. So the best way to keep your house secure is to have lights. So we have two different types of solar gutter lights, I guess is what you'll call them. And we'll put those up probably next vlog. So come on back and see me here on the Stoney Ridge Farm, guys. Click that like button if you like what you see. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and just follow us on our farm journey. It's wintertime, it's cold, the ground is frozen, the water's frozen, the chicken's water's frozen. Just a lot of just a lot of general maintenance, and we have an attention-loving goat right here. So come on back and see me, guys. I appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time on the Stoney Ridge Farm. Thanks a lot. Woo! Well, come on down to the Stoney Ridge. Bring your wife and bring your kids. We're living life pure and sweet. That's the way it's supposed to be, Stoney Ridge. Woo! Hey, Pepper! Hey, Pepper! Scream bloody murder!